Hi and welcome to Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean Olala. Today we're at Showplace Market in Moore.
This place is just chock-a-block with uniquely Oklahoma items. You got to come here and do some shopping. A lot of folks come for Calamity Jane's Funk and Junk, makers of some of the best Okie type shirts in the state.
Another thing Okies love, a great burger and a big tall glass of root beer. Absolutely. And as luck would have it, Jason Grubbs knows exactly where you can get that. Weber's Root Beer in Tulsa.
You can't miss it. That bright orange building at the corner of 38th Place in South Peoria in Tulsa. It's Weber's Root Beer, and they've been serving hungry and thirsty customers for decades.
Started Weber's in 1933. My great-grandfather started Weber's.
But owner Rick Bilby says his family's story of Weber's started way before 1933. On July 4th, 1891, his great-grandfather, Weber Bilby, invited the neighbors over to try some ground Angus beef he had cooked up on a homemade grill.
He made it out of what they call pig iron. And in 1933, he brought his grill and started his business.
In the mid-90s, Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating proclaimed Weber's to be the birthplace of the burger. They're still cooking them the same way today.
That's right, yep. He used black Angus beef then, and we're still using that today.
In fact, that's not the only thing Weber's is still using.
The grill surface is the original grill surface that my great-grandfather made in 1891. And that's what makes our hamburgers taste different.
That's well over a century of seasoning. You'll also taste special spices and seared onions in the beef.
The onion juice soaks into the meat and gives the meat a little more flavor by doing that.
Speaking of flavoring, be sure to order some of the hand-cut fried onion rings. They're made fresh every morning.
Finally, it's my turn. I knew exactly what I wanted before I even got here. I'm gonna get the quarter pounder with cheese, everything on it. All of it. Those fantastic grilled onions. And a big old root beer. This right here, seasoning, 120 years in the making, 14 secret ingredients. It's good stuff.
The burgers aren't the only legendary thing around here. During that same summer of 1891, Weber used 14 natural ingredients to whip up a root beer.
We call this the Weber's Black Gold. It's the only root beer that's made from scratch to finish here in Oklahoma.
And you can taste the secret recipe for yourself today. Order it in a big frosty mug at the counter or in 12-ounce long neck bottles online.
There's only 3 people that know the recipe. My father and my wife and I are the only 3 people that know the recipe. We make the concentrate from scratch and we flavor age it. And what that does is that enhances the flavor, makes the flavor stronger.
Started coming here when I was a teenager, as soon as I got my driver's license.
David Hughes says he's always loved Weber's. The savory burgers and tasty root beer are why this place has been around for so long.
If you're in a restaurant business and you can stay in business for more than a couple of years, you're doing good. I think they beat that by a few decades, yeah.
The tater tots too. This is my first time for tater tots. They're really good.
Born and raised in Tulsa, Erin Eddy has only been here one other time.
One time. I've always heard about it.
So she decided to bring her friend Kendall.
I've driven past this place hundreds of times. It's a lot more smooth than you expect root beer to be, which that was the exciting part to me. Sometimes root beer is really tart when you drink it. It's kind of hard to swallow. This was really smooth. Yeah.
Whether this is your first time stopping in,
Best every day to do a good job for our customers.
or you've been coming here for years,
We take it very seriously. We're very proud to be here in Oklahoma.
Weber's is sure to fill you up and quench your thirst.
We take a lot of pride in making people happy, and I still get a kick out of somebody coming up and saying, you know, that was a good hamburger, or that was a good root beer.
In Tulsa, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.
If you're looking for the best burgers or any other meal in Oklahoma, get a free copy of the Discover Oklahoma Dining Guide. It's so easy to do. Just go to our website, travelok.com, and click on Request Free Brochures. And now from root beer to real beer. Either way, Okies love a thirst quencher.
And Oklahoma brewed beer has taken off in a big way in recent years. And right now, Jeff Roberts is going to take us to the Mustang Brewing Company.
How and why did Mustang Brewing Company become the Oklahoma City brewer that's making the world a better place, one beer at a time? President, managing partner, and fellow Okie Tim Sholin answers that.
Started making beer in my garage, built the business plan. We sold our house, cashed out our 401k, moved into a rental house, and just started making beer until we finally came up with this recipe that launched all of this.
I was going to say, this has to be cool for you to see this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I make beer for a living. It's not bad. Every day is a good day, right?
Yeah.
It's like being a rock star with a pint glass.
I like that. So, can we check out some of your unbridled glasses?
So as part of the Unbridled line, we wanted to create these beers that were a little more craft forward and kind of fun and push the boundaries a little bit. And so we came up with this idea for a porter made out of sweet potatoes. And so, I mean, just smelling it, I mean, it smells like Thanksgiving to me.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to tell you. This is a pumpkin pie in a glass.
Yeah, I mean, it
really is.
It's delicious. I mean, you can smell the cinnamon, you can smell the allspice, and you can even, a bit, you can kind of taste the sweet potato there. But,
you can.
But this is what craft beer is all about. It's kind of pushing the envelope a little bit and giving folks a chance to taste, something that reminds them of home.
Don't you wish you had Taste-O-Vision right now?
Honestly, thanks to brewmasters Gary Shellman and Mike Groshong, that really did taste like sweet potatoes. These guys make the magic happen. Now that we've covered all of that, where'd the name come from?
So, started out about a good buddy of mine, Blake Chappell. He had a house out in Mustang, Oklahoma. And so when I started brewing, I would brew out at Blake's house because he was a guy, he was a bachelor, so we could brew out there and stay up all night and do whatever. So he lived in Mustang. Well, then I looked at a place on Mustang Road and I thought, oh wow, it'd be really cool to name this Mustang Brewing Company and put it on Mustang Road. A friend of mine in high school, his mom had this really cool 69 Mustang. In fact, he still has it. So I love that car. I played a Mustang bass in the band I was in college. So it all just the name Mustang really stuck. Now, unfortunately, as we started to look for property in Mustang, it just never worked out. And we ended up in Oklahoma City instead.
Finally, Tim, tell us how you took your love for music and beer and married the two.
Yeah, it's it started early on. I've always been a big music nerd. And so, failed musician. Obviously, didn't have the talent to do it professionally, but I still love music, right? So early on when we were developing the brew, we'd go to a concert and you'd see all these people with a beer in their hand. And then I'd watch the correlation. If the people on the stage were drinking a beer, the folks in the crowd were drinking a beer. So it was a natural, like, oh wow, we could work with musicians, could fulfill that love of music, but also do the beer industry as well. So we started sponsoring local music shows, showcases, venues, and even bands. And that just grew and grew. Some of the bands we worked with got bigger and bigger. You look at Turnpike Troubadours, who are a pretty well-known name now. I remember working with those guys really early on and watching them grow. And we grew with them a bit. The culmination of that has been this Gentleman of the Road Festival last year. The Mumford & Son guy, the promoters and the Mumford & Son guys came to us and said, hey, we want a beer at the festival. We only want to feature craft beer and local craft beer. What can you do for us? And so we developed their own beer for that with their own can. And we were the only beer provider for 30,000 plus people for a 3-day festival.
So the next time you want to help make the world a better place, one beer at a time, make it a Mustang Brew. In Oklahoma City, I'm Jeff Roberts.
If beer isn't your style, don't worry, we have wine lovers covered too. Hop on our website, travelok.com, to get your copy of the Oklahoma Wine Trail Guide. Just click on Request Free Brochures.
Well, if it's too hot outside or maybe even too cold outside, no worries. You can always participate in what many Oklahomans consider to be our state's leading indoor sport.
And depending on where you shop, antiquing can be a contact sport, but it also can be a real conquest.
They just get so much foot traffic from literally across the nation and internationally. We have customers from China and Japan and Germany, et cetera, et cetera.
We'll show you some of the top spots to check out in Jenks coming up.
Plus, if you find yourself on I-35 in southern Oklahoma, we've got a great place for your next pit stop.
I make homemade cinnamon rolls. They are really good, if I do say so myself.
Ardmore's answer to the pit stop questions still ahead, right here on Discover Oklahoma.
Great travel tips anytime, like Discover Oklahoma on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
I've had a lot of Hondas.
We went around the country talking to people who made the switch to Ford.
I loved the look of the Fusion. We test drove it. I was like, this is my car. The all-wheel drive is amazing. I felt so secure.
You can do it, Emmy! EcoBoost is when you can take a 4-cylinder and make it feel like a 6-cylinder.
I drove the Fusion and I never went back.
Get a 2015 Fusion with 0 for 60 or up to $3,500 cash back, or lease for $189 a month at your Oklahoma Ford dealer, the best in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Today magazine brings you stunning photography and authentic award-winning stories of home from Oklahoma. The only magazine that covers the entire state, Oklahoma Today showcases what we love about Oklahoma, bringing to you the very best of its people, places, culture, history, and of course, its legendary food. Subscribe now at oklahomatoday.com and get 6 issues absolutely free. Don't miss a single issue of Oklahoma Today magazine.
Meet Maria and James. They're smart with money. They clip grocery coupons, save spare change for laundry, and do their federal taxes for free with IRS Free File. Everyone can free file. Choose the brand name software right for you or use online fillable forms. Like Maria and James, you'll get a refund in about 10 days. For taxes that are a lot less taxing, visit freefile.irs.gov.
Every night, sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making crazy circles in the sky. We know we belong to the land, and when we belong to his hand. So when we say, yeah, we're only saying you're doing fine. Oklahoma,
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Showplace Market in Moore.
And things are booming here in Moore, but just so you know, Jenks is one of the fastest growing communities in Oklahoma.
And Julie Chen reminds us that Jenks is also a place rich in history.
We're true blue, honest antiques.
James Pierce sells pieces of the past.
All of our furniture is 100 years and older, primarily American. All of our small stuff is 1950s and back, at least vintage.
Pierce owns American Heritage Antiques, one of dozens of mom and pop shops lining Main Street Jenks, a main street with bragging rights.
During the 1980s, Jenks, as a lot of small towns did, really struggled. The economy here wasn't great. City leaders got together with a consultant and said, what can we do to make Jenks unique? What can we do that's really different? And they came up with antiques. They said this would be a great niche market for us to really go out and try to corner. So they went out and they recruited businesses and they kind of started from there. It snowballed. And then later that decade, then Governor Henry Bellman was in Oklahoma and his wife declared Jenks, read a proclamation that this was the antiques capital of Oklahoma.
Since then, Oklahoma's antique capital has become a vacation destination.
They just get so much foot traffic from literally across the nation and internationally. We have customers from China and Japan and Germany, et cetera, et cetera.
And for treasure hunters, X marks the spot along this stretch of Main Street, which runs roughly from the railroad tracks to 7th Street and about a block or so north and south.
And you'll find antiques, you'll find one-of-a-kind items, you'll find the dog groomer, you'll find a yoga studio, you'll find a music academy and vintage clothing, one-of-a-kind clothing. It's really a great place to come and find a little bit of everything.
I have furniture, chandeliers, quilts. I kind of have an eclectic mix of the past and the present.
Sherry Bonner owns the Pink Lily. It's just off Main Street. She's been in business about 5 years.
I've always loved Jenks. I like the smallness of the Main Street. You know, it's not that big and you know everybody, and so I love it here.
Bonner likes to give old things new life. She specializes in refurbished, repurposed, and recycled furniture and other items.
A lot of people say, this reminds me of my grandmother, this reminds me of growing up, and you know, some of them are very sentimental about things they see.
Whether your taste is antique or eclectic, there's a good chance you'll find what you're looking for in downtown Jenks. And the town is now expanding its arts scene too.
We've got stores that are antiques that are beginning to incorporate more arts into their offerings. And we're also turning the former wet lab for the Oklahoma Aquarium into an arts gallery and incubator space for artists to work and sell their products.
Make a day of it when you come to downtown Jenks. Wear your comfortable shoes, know there's free parking and plenty of places to eat here.
I love it here. I love it here.
Come see us. You know, Jenks is a fun place.
In Jenks, I'm Julie Chin, Discovering Oklahoma.
If you're looking for great places to antique, you need to spend some time on our website. Just type the word antique into the search bar and you'll find all sorts of spots to find your next treasure. You know, sometimes it's the little things. You can be on a really fun road trip and find that great pit stop.
That perfect place that you want to stop every time you pass by it. Well, there's one Oklahoma town, kind of used to because it's along the interstate, having people pass through, but they have got just that sort of place.
Probably our most popular drink is what we call the Main Street Extreme.
Ardmore's answer to the eternal question of, are we there yet? And if not, where do we stop?
And horseback riding with a view.
You go down by the lake and circle around, and it's like our own little oasis jungle kind of. It's really pretty.
Where to find a great ride down an awesome trail a little later right here on Discover Oklahoma.
Away is as much about getting there as it is being there. Away is where the days are packed with wonder, and the evenings are filled with familiar comforts. Find your away. Go RVing.
As the weather cools and the leaves begin to fall, don't trade outdoor recreation for winter hibernation. Discover the off-season treasures available at Oklahoma's 34 great state parks. Wide open trails teeming with wildlife, fishing, fun festivals, bird watching, equestrian trails, nature center activities, and cozy cabins with fireplaces offer the perfect escape for a wintry getaway. Visit travelok.com for special offers and come see for yourself.
It's 3 p.m. For 50 million kids across America, school's out. And for a third of these kids, they're out on their own. Out with nowhere to go and nothing to do. But every afternoon is a chance to change America's future. All you have to do is open the door. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Showplace Market in Moore. This is a great big building full of all kinds of great little shops like Calamity Jane's with its very original Okie t-shirts. It's a lot of fun here.
I could spend quite a few hours here and
money, yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of money.
Now, by chance, if your next road trip happens to take you south of here about an hour, right off of I-35, you're in luck because Tina McGarry has the perfect pit stop.
Double shot, regular, single? Okay.
It's not just about a good cup of joe at Main Street Coffee in Ardmore. This is small business at its finest. Owner Pam Plesher has built her business around great coffee and outstanding customer service.
People have come in and said, I walk in here and I feel like I'm walking into your living room, which I love. You know, we've tried to make it cozy.
And in this cozy coffee house, you'll find some of the best brew around.
It's a really, really nice medium roast. It's a really good blend. People really like it a lot.
Whether you like it hot, over ice, or frozen, you can find it here. Of course, locals have a favorite, the Main Street Coffee signature drink.
Probably our most popular drink is what we call the Main Street Extreme. It started out as a total accident.
And here's the Main Street Extreme. It's a signature drink here. I'm gonna give it a try. It has an ice cream base. It has chocolate, white chocolate, and caramel. I don't think you could go wrong with those ingredients. It's delicious. I would call it heaven, or at least dessert in a cup.
I make homemade cinnamon rolls. They are really good. If I do say so myself, I have to stay out of them because that's not a good thing for me. But we sell out of those pretty quickly.
And it's not just cinnamon rolls. The dessert case is lined with decadent desserts that will surely satisfy any sweet tooth. Muffins, brownies, crispy treats, and more. You'll also notice the coffee house is lined with beautiful home decor. Pam shares space with her friend who owns a little gift shop called Trivialities.
I have a few personal accessories, some scarves, little jewelry, some purses, a few gifts,
some cards, but it really is mainly just accessories for the home.
Whether you want to browse or just sit back and sip, you'll love the welcoming feel of Main Street coffee.
We offer the hometown, comfortable, homey, warm, inviting. You know, we don't have the name recognition, so we have to make up for that in our service, and we try to do that. You know, we try to accommodate from the person that knows exactly what they want, that comes in and orders, you know, 6 things right down the line, to somebody that looks at my board and says, oh my gosh, I have no idea. We just try to be there for whoever, however.
And she hopes you'll come for the coffee and stay for the conversation. In Ardmore, I'm Tina McGarry, discovering Oklahoma.
And if you're looking for other places to check out in Ardmore, we've got a great resource for you. Request a copy of the Ardmore Guide right on our website, travelok.com.
You know, shopping's good, shopping's fun.
Yeah, shopping's great.
But you really can't beat the great outdoors in Oklahoma.
And I think the wintertime is a great time to get outdoors. No chiggers, no ticks, and no mosquitoes. 3 things you can live without. So I say let's head to the lake.
We have had people out here all ages, and you know, we walk the trails and it's nice, easy, relaxing.
We'll take you to some of the best trails with the prettiest views when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Every 43 seconds, another Ford F-Series pulls off the lot, ready to work, ready to play, and ready to live up to its best in Oklahoma reputation. No wonder Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in America, now for 38 straight years. But every 43 seconds, there's one less F-Series left for you, so don't wait. Get up to $8,500 in total savings or 0% financing for 60 months on F-150. Plus, no payments till spring. Head to your Oklahoma Ford dealer today, the best in Oklahoma.
As the weather cools and the leaves begin to fall, don't trade outdoor recreation for winter hibernation. Discover the off-season treasures available at Oklahoma's 34 great state parks. Wide open trails teeming with wildlife, fishing, fun festivals, bird watching, equestrian trails, nature center activities, and cozy cabins with fireplaces offer the perfect escape for a wintry getaway. Visit travelok.com for special offers and come see for yourself.
Oklahoma Today magazine brings you stunning photography and authentic award-winning stories of home from Oklahoma. The only magazine that covers the entire state, Oklahoma Today showcases what we love about Oklahoma, bringing to you the very best of its people, places, culture, history, and of course, its legendary food. Subscribe now at oklahomatoday.com and get 6 issues absolutely free. Don't miss a single issue of Oklahoma Today magazine.
Away is the crackle of the campfire. It can be 1,000,000 years old or a few weeks young. Away beckons from Orion's belt. Away is a place that's closer than you think. Find your away. Go RVing.
This portion of Discover Oklahoma is brought to you by the Heartland Flyer. Book your ticket through Southern Oklahoma today.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Showplace Market, a collection of shops all under one roof in Moore. They do lots of Western here, and you think I can wear these boots? I love them.
I think you'd look very nice in them, as long as you plug them in at night to recharge them. I think you'd be just fine.
Pretty bright.
You know, another fun Western experience sometimes just comes down to hopping on a horse and taking a ride. You know that.
I love that.
And with that in mind, come with me now to the Arrowhead Stables near Lake Eufala.
Located near beautiful Lake Eufala, Arrowhead Stables for the past 5 years has provided fun and relaxation for the entire family. For example, they have a petting zoo.
Oh, those petting zoo animals, they're like my babies. And you know, it's so much fun. And it just amazes me that kids come out and they can hold a chicken, and that's something they don't get to do every day. And the little ones are always excited to feed the goats and, pet the goats.
And there's more.
We have miniature donkeys, they're my favorite, and they honk at you everywhere. And we have goats, and we have rabbits and chickens and ducks and miniature horses.
It's always enjoyable to see kids around animals, isn't it? Everyone always seems to be smiling, and kids are smiling when they are running around at the Arrowhead Stables playground area. They also do pony rides as well as a barrel train ride. Want proof these kids have fun? Well, this young man was so excited he was speechless when I asked him what he likes best about Arrowhead Stables. What about which animals he likes best? What's your favorite thing to do on the playground? Oh wait, he overcame his excitement to tell me.
And I like the ducks.
And there you have it. This young man didn't want to be interviewed anymore. He wanted to continue playing. But there's another event that's the cornerstone of fun here at Arrowhead Stables, and that's the trail rides.
Trail rides are for people from 0 to 80, 90. We've had people, and they have to be 5 to ride their own horse. But we do allow parents to put kids in the saddle with them. And we also have buddy seats that hook onto the back of the saddle so they can ride with a parent. But we have had people out here all ages. And, you know, we walk the trails and it's nice, easy, relaxing. You know, you can't hardly mess up. It's just fun.
There's a short ride they do with a lot of the smaller kids and for birthdays. There's also an hour, hour and a half, and 2-hour trail ride. And then there's the one that caught us by surprise.
We have a little place where we turn around on our hour trail that's we call it the Lake Loop. But you go down by the lake and circle around, and it's like our own little oasis jungle kind of. It's really pretty.
It's not only pretty, it's peacefully splendid and serene. To be riding through the forest and the trees and to come out with a magnificent view of Lake Eufala right in front of you, well, it's pretty wonderful. Come experience the fun and allure of Arrowhead Stables, where everyone leaves with a smile on their face and memories to cherish for years.
That's our show for this week. A big thanks to the folks here at Showplace Market in Moore. Just a reminder, they're open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7, and they're just south of Broadway and 19th Street in Moore.
It's a very cool place. Coming up next week on Discover Oklahoma, one of the most majestic sights in the state. We'll show you where you can go eagle watching.
And if it's this greasy, it's gotta be good, right? We're headed to Tulsa's hot spot for lunch next week, right here on Discover Oklahoma.
So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma. Our intrepid Ford Explorer is provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.